puts this team ahead by 2 as we are at the bottom of the 5th inning here at Ritchie Stadium.
All right, well, a pretty exciting game there at Ritchie Stadium.
Exactly, and we have some interesting players, Roger Vargas and Brian O'Connor. All right, so, well, we saw some great words, and, well, it's time for us to take a look at them now in Language Takeaway.
Language takeaway.
Okay, we're going to look at some common sports and baseball words here. Now, the first phrase, we'll hear this almost at any sort of international sports event, right?
Exactly, and it's the national anthem.
National anthem.
National anthem.
So this is a song, right?
Exactly, it's the song that you sing about your country, and many people confuse it, right?
Yeah, a lot of people might say national hymn.
Okay, hymn. Because in some languages it might be like a hymn, like literally translating.
Yeah,
But in English it's called the national anthem.
the national anthem.
All right, so what about our next word?
Well, we were talking about the pitcher.
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 The pitcher.
Pitcher.
Okay, and now this is one of the players on the baseball team, and his job is to
Throw the ball
throw the ball really fast.
so that the guy can hit it with the bat.
Okay, so that's the pitcher. Now, the interesting thing is that the baseball commentator said the pitcher winds up.
Winds up.
To wind up.
To wind up. Okay, well, let me paint you a picture.
Okay.
So imagine a clock,
Uh-huh.
and you're turning the clock to wind up, to get it ready to go.
To make it work.
Exactly. So imagine the pitcher doing the same sort of thing, bringing his arm back behind him, getting ready to throw the ball.
Okay, so that is to wind up. Very good. So you can use this word not only in baseball, but for other things that require you to do this action.
Right, to turn something and get it ready to have lots of power.
Like some toys,
Yeah.
or maybe like a music box. Okay, wind up. What about our next phrase?
Well, Roger Vargas hit a line drive.
Line drive.
Line drive.
Okay, so what is a line drive?
Well, it's a term from baseball, and when you hit a line drive, you hit the ball sort of low towards the ground, and it travels along the outside of the field.
Right, so the ball basically travels along the foul line.
That white line.
The white line,
Yeah.
exactly. Very good, so that's a line drive.
And so the players on the field were scrambling to get the ball.
Scrambling.
Scrambling.
Now, we know scrambled eggs from one of our lessons.
Yes, but the verb to scramble means to move quickly in a disorganized way to do something.
Okay, so the players are moving very fast, trying to get the ball, but they're not doing it very well.
Right. And you can use this in other ways, right? Not just in baseball.
Right, for example, we could say, the people are scrambling to buy their tickets for the concert.
Yeah. Or I'm going on vacation tomorrow and I'm scrambling to get everything ready.
Exactly. It's a very good term that you can use also in your daily life.
Exactly.
All right, and what about our last word for today on Language Takeaway?
Well, they were in the 5th inning of the game.
Okay, so inning.
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 All right, this is another baseball term, and it just means the period of play.
Okay, so we learned, for example, that in soccer you have 2 halves.
Or in hockey, you have 3 periods.
All right, and in baseball you have 9 innings.
Okay, great. So some interesting sports and baseball vocabulary. Now, I think it will help us to hear this again slower. So let's listen to the dialogue.
Hello, baseball fans, and welcome back to today's game. My name is Rick Fields, and of course, I am here once again with the man that seals the deal, Bob Copeland.
It's a beautiful day to see 2 world-class teams face each other and fight for their right to be called champions.
Well, the national anthem has just been sung, and the umpire has started the game. It's time to play ball.
Roger Vargas is up at bat. The pitcher winds up, and strike 1.
A very nice curveball by the pitcher. The catcher gives him the sign. He winds up, And Vargas gets a line drive.
The players are scrambling to get the ball. Vargas gets to first base, and he's still going. The outfielder throws it to second. Vargas slides. He's safe.
Great play.
We have a runner on third, and up at bat is Brian Okami. There's the pitch. He hits it. It's going. That ball is gone.
Home run by Okami. That puts this team ahead by 2 as we are at the bottom of the 5th inning here at Ritchie Stadium.
Alright, so as we said, there are a lot of English terms that come from baseball, but we use them in business context or in your daily life, right?
Yeah, why don't we look at those now in Fluency Builder?
Fluency Builder.
Alright, so the first phrase that we have is up to bat.
Up to bat.
Up to bat.
So literally, in this dialogue, it means the guy is standing on home plate ready to hit the ball, right?
He has the bat and he's ready to hit it.
But what about in other contexts?
So for example, you can be at a meeting and maybe it's your turn to talk.
So you're up to bat.
So yeah, exactly. Your boss will say, okay, Erica, you're up to bat.
Okay, so it means sort of like it's your turn.
It's your turn.
Yeah.
Very good. All right, so that's another term that is used in baseball, but very commonly used in other circumstances.
So we also saw in the dialogue that Roger Vegas, he hit the ball, but he missed, and that was strike 1.
Right, strike 1. So in baseball, you have 3 strikes.
3 tries.
3 tries before you're out.
Yes.
And so now the same thing happens in daily life.
So if someone says that was strike 1,
It means you made the first mistake.
yes, and if you make 2 more, you will be fired, for example. Yeah.
Or maybe your parents will say, okay, that wasn't nice, strike 1.
And then 2 more times, and you'll have a timeout.
Or you'll be grounded.
Yes.
Okay, so that's also called a strike. And the pitcher threw a curveball.
A curveball.
Curveball.
So, okay, pretty clear. A curveball is when you throw the ball and it sort of goes in a curve. It doesn't go straight, right?
Right, exactly.
But how can this be used outside of baseball?
So you can say, oh, my boss threw me a curveball today.
So he gave you an unexpected problem.
Or something that was difficult to handle.
Okay, this one is pretty interesting. I'd like to hear a few more examples.
Example 1.
My boss threw me a curveball today, so I have to stay and work late.
Example 2.
Xua ra đi. Nói đồ ấy.
It was a huge curveball when she asked me how many kids I wanted to have.
Nhớ
How am I
má
supposed
ông
to
bơ
know?
người ta. Áo trắng mà cô đơn cầm hóa.
Alright, so that's basically a curveball. You can say an unexpected problem or
Yep.
situation.
That's right.
And our last phrase, and well, probably one that's you already know, home run.
Home run.
Như
A
cái.
home run.
From baseball, we know that that's when you hit the ball really far.
And you hit it outside of the playing area or outside the park.
Yes.
And now if you use it in a business context or in your daily life,
It means something similar. Why don't we take a listen to the examples and see if we can figure it out?
Example 1.
Great job on that sales presentation. You really hit a home run.
Example 2. Our sales team hit a home run this month by doubling our revenue.
okay, so basically a home run is a success.
A victory.
A victory.
Yeah, something, a big accomplishment.
That's right. So we've seen a lot of these great phrases, and as you can see, a lot of them from baseball are used in your daily life, and there are many, many more.
Okay, well, why don't we hear them again in the baseball context, and we'll listen to the dialogue one more time.
Hello, baseball fans, and welcome back to today's game. My name is Rick Field, and of course, I am here once again with the man that seals the deal, Bob Copeland.
It's a beautiful day to see 2 world-class teams face each other and fight for their right to be called champions.
Well, the national anthem has just been sung, and the umpire has started the game. It's time to play ball.
Roger Vargas is up at bat. Pitcher winds up and strike 1.
Very nice curveball by the pitcher. The catcher gives him the sign. He winds up. And And Vargas gets a line drive.
The players are scrambling to get the ball. Vargas gets to first base and he's still going. The outfielder throws it to second. Vargas slides. He's safe.
Great play.
We have a runner on third, and up at bat is Brian Okami. There's the pitch. He hits it. It's going. That ball is gone.
Home run by Okami. That puts this team ahead by 2 as we are at the bottom of the 5th inning here at Ritchie Stadium.
All right, so an interesting dialogue, a very interesting sport. And well, personally, I never played this as a child.
Me neither, really.
I don't really like it too much, but it is kind of fun to go to a game, and especially in the United States, have those hot dogs and all that stuff.
Okay, yeah. Well, a cultural event, a really important piece of American culture.
Exactly. So, well, we encourage you to come to our website, englishpod.com. Tell us what you think, and also, of course, if you have questions or doubts, be sure to tell us.
If you have any other sort of baseball-related phrases, let us know about them on the website.
Okay, so we'll see you guys there.
Thanks for downloading, and until next time, goodbye.
Bye. Hello, English learners. Welcome back to English Pod. My name is Marco.
And I'm Erica.
And today we're bringing you another sci-fi lesson for all of those fans out there of Star Trek and Star Wars.
That's right, and today we're going to focus on some phrases. We're not going to do any vocabulary today. We're just going to learn some phrases that you'll find relating to science fiction.
Okay, very good. So why don't we listen to a dialogue for the first time, and we'll come back and look at all these phrases.
Captain, we are under attack by an unidentified ship.
Damage report.
We've sustained heavy damages to the engines. We've lost our warp drive.
We'll have to attempt to make contact. This is Captain Jean-Luc Picard of the Starship Enterprise. We don't wish to engage. What is the nature of this attack?
I am Captain Core of the ship Kodos. Your ship attacked our search party.
No, you're not doing it right. Core doesn't sound like that. His voice is deeper.
I am Captain Core of the ship Kodos. Your ship...
No! If you can't do an authentic Klingon voice, I'll have to find a more serious Star Trek fan who can actually act, okay?
But I already bought the Klingon suit and the wig and...
All right, very good. Star Trek fans, apparently they were trying to act out one of the famous episodes where the Klingons attacked the Enterprise.
My goodness. I don't know a lot about Star Trek, but I do know a lot about language, and we've got some great stuff here that will help you understand sci-fi movies and TV shows in English a little bit better. So why don't we go now to Fluency Builder?
Fluency Builder.
All right, so the first phrase that we have today on Fluency Builder, unidentified ship.
An unidentified ship.
Unidentified ship.
Unidentified ship.
If we break it down and look at the first word, unidentified.
You don't know which one it is.
Okay, you don't know the identity.
Yep.
And a ship, I guess that's short for
A rocket ship.
a rocket
Or a
ship.
spaceship.
Okay.
So we're not talking boats here.
All right, we're
Yeah.
not talking about boats. Very good. Now moving on to our second phrase, the Enterprise lost its warp drive.
Warp drive.
Warp drive.
Warp drive.
So the warp drive of the Enterprise is actually something like an engine that allows it to go faster than the speed of light.
So super fast.
Super fast.
But why warp?
All right, well, if we take a look at the word warp, that actually means to bend.
Yep. So like when you warp wood, it bends.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You bend wood or you warp metal. And, well, that's kind of the theory behind it, is that they're going so fast that they bend or warp time.
Okay, so warp drive. I think a very sci-fi specific phrase here.
Right. All right, and for our third phrase today, search party.
Search party.
A search party.
A search party.
Okay, so what is this? Are we having a party? What's going on?
Well, when somebody gets lost, maybe in the woods or something, you send out a search party to find them.
So a party would be a group of people.
Exactly.
So that also happens in restaurants, I think, right?
Right. Sometimes you might say, how many people in your party?
Party, very good. So party, group of people.
All right, so in the dialogue, we saw that actually these were not real Star Trek characters, but they were just acting. But it didn't sound quite right, right?
Yeah, he said that his voice is
Nguyên bài ca cho nó tốt.
A deep voice.
deep
A
voice.
deep voice.
All right, we're gonna hear an example of what a deep voice sounds like.
Tại cái cạc màng đó kìa.
The one constant through all the years, Ray, has been baseball. America has rolled by like an army of steamrollers.
Tại
It
driver
erased
kìa.
like a blackboard, rebuilt and erased again.
That is a deep voice.
Now, because his voice wasn't deep enough, it didn't sound authentic.
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 All right, so authentic, very easy word.
Real. True to life.
Real, true
Yeah.
to life, right? Not fake.
Exactly. So, Marco, is that an authentic Rolex?
No, it's not. But thank you for noticing. All right, so authentic. And our last word for today,
A wig.
a wig.
A wig.
Wig, W-I-G, wig.
So a wig is pretend hair, right?
Right, fake hair.
So the hair is not authentic.
Very good. All right, so a wig.
All right, we've got some great language here, and why don't we listen to it one more time, slow down a little bit in the dialogue.
Captain, we're under attack by an unidentified ship.
Damage report.
We've sustained heavy damages to the engines. We've lost our warp drive.
We'll have to attempt to make contact. This is Captain Picard of the Starship Enterprise. We don't wish to engage. What is the nature of this attack?
I am Captain Core of the ship Clothos. Your ship attacked our search party.
No, you're not doing it right. Core doesn't sound like that. His voice is deeper.
I am Captain Core of the ship Clothos. Your ship.
No, if you can't do an authentic Klingon voice, I'll have to find a more serious Star Trek fan who can actually act, okay?
But, I already bought the Klingon suit and the wig.
All right, now it's time for us to take a look at more phrases today in Fluency Builder.
Fluency Builder.
All right, so we've got some phrases here that you can use together with a number of different words, right?
Exactly.
So the first one, we heard that data said we're under attack.
We're under attack.
Under attack.
All right, so if we are under attack, it means that we are being
Attacked.
attacked.
Someone is shooting guns at you or trying to hurt you or something like that.
Okay, so we are under attack. Very popular phrase that you would hear in war movies or something.
Definitely. Now you can change this by changing the last word. We are under fire.
Under fire, which basically means the same thing.
Yeah, except when you're under fire, there are guns involved.
Okay, so they're shooting at you.
Yep.
All right, we're under attack. We're under fire.
Mm-hmm.
All right, moving on to our second phrase. We've sustained heavy damage.
Sustain heavy damage. So when you sustain something, you receive it or you undergo this thing.
So usually it's related to injury or to receiving some type of...
A negative thing.
Okay, so why don't we listen to some examples of how we could use sustain in context.
Example 1. John had a car accident and sustained a fatal injury. Example 2.
The boxer sustained a severe neck injury in the championship fight.
Example 3. Luckily, the warship didn't sustain any serious damage.
All right, so you see, we typically sustain something like an injury or damage that is negative.
Very good. And the last phrase for today. What is the nature of this attack?
What is the nature of?
What is the nature of?
Okay, so basically he's just asking, why are you doing this?
Right. Why? What is the reason?
Yeah.
What is the purpose? So again, we have some more examples of how you could use what is the nature of in different situations.
Example 1.
What is the nature of your visit to the United States?
Example 2. What is the nature of the threat against our country? Example 3.
The nature of my visit is personal.
Okay, so a great phrase you can use not only when you're talking sci-fi, but in everyday life.
Exactly. So why don't we listen now to the dialogue for the last time, and then we'll come back and talk a little bit more.
Captain, we are under attack by an unidentified ship.
Damage report.
We've sustained heavy damages to the engines. We've lost our warp drive.
We'll have to attempt to make contact. This is Captain Jean-Luc Picard of the Starship Enterprise. We don't wish to engage. What is the nature of this attack?
I am Captain Core of the ship Clothos. Your ship attacked our search party.
No, you're not doing it right. Core doesn't sound like that. His voice is deeper.
I am Captain Core of the ship Clothos. Your ship...
No! If you can't do an authentic Klingon voice, I'll have to find a more serious Star Trek fan who can actually act, okay?
But I already bought the Klingon suit and the wig and...
Well, Marco, I already admitted that I'm not much of a sci-fi fan, and I don't really know anything about Star Trek or Star Wars.
Well, it is a very popular show. I think it started around the 60s or 70s.
Yep.
The first version of Star Trek. And, well, many people follow it now. They dress up, they know the secret language that is used on the show, they know the spaceships. It's a big culture.
That's true, and speaking of culture, I think we've got a Star Trek movie coming out pretty soon, so some of this language can help you guys understand it a little bit better.
Very good, yeah. So if you have any other questions or comments related to not only to science fiction, but anything in general, please come to the website englishpod.com and leave your questions or comments.
Well, thanks for downloading, you guys, and until next time, goodbye.
Hello, English learners. Welcome back to the English Pod. My name is Marco.
And I'm Erica.
And today we're looking at some more romance.
We're talking about dating.
Dating, exactly. And not only dating, but asking someone to become your boyfriend or girlfriend.
Yep, that's true. And so we're going to be focusing on language to express your romantic feelings, and also maybe some phrases you can use to ask someone out.
Very good. So I'm sure you guys are excited about this one, so let's listen to the dialogue for the first time.
Hey, you're early. Where's everyone?
Well, I told them not to come. I made a reservation just for the two of us. I thought we could have a quiet evening all to ourselves.
Oh, why?
Jennifer, there's something I want to ask you.
Sure. What is it?
Okay, here's the thing. I've always seen you as more than just a friend. I can't take it anymore. I know you better than anyone. I know the pros and cons of your personality. I even know what side of the bed is yours. I think we would be great together, don't you?
Are you serious? We've been friends for years. We can't just change that overnight.
I know. I never had the guts to tell you until today. So what do you say? Are you willing to give me a shot?
All right, I wonder, is she going to say yes?
I don't know, she seems a little bit confused.
Well, I guess it's always strange when your best friend suddenly wants to be your boyfriend or girlfriend.
It does happen, though.
Yep.
It does happen. So why don't we take a look at some of the vocabulary that was used in this dialogue to express these feelings, and let's start with Fluency Builder.
Fluency Builder.
Okay, so we're doing things a little differently today. We're looking at phrases and not just vocabulary words. So he used some wonderful phrases to ask her to be his boyfriend. And he started with this. Here's the thing.
Here's the thing.
Here's the thing.
All right, that's a very strange phrase. Here's the thing. Is
Yeah.
he giving her something?
Not quite. He's not giving her an object, but he's giving her some information.
Okay, so it's a very common way to start an idea.
That's right.
You're about to tell the person the main problem or the main...
The main piece of information.
Right, so you would start with, here's the thing, and then start explaining.
Okay, why don't we do an example?
For example, you could say, all right, here's the thing. People don't like you.
All right, well, I hope they don't say that to me. But another example, Marco, here's the thing. We're behind in our podcasting. We have to work overtime.
Okay, so the main idea.
Yep.
Very good. Moving on to our next phrase.
He said, I can't take it.
I can't take it anymore.
I can't take it anymore.
So he can't take it anymore. Take what?
Well, why don't we find out by listening to some examples?
Example 1. The man next door has been so loud, I can't take it anymore. Example 2.
My boss always yells at me. I can't take it anymore.
Example 3. I can't take it anymore. I'm going to quit.
All right, so basically is you can't stand it. You can't tolerate it anymore.
Exactly. This is a phrase we use when we are really frustrated.
Yeah, when we're frustrated or when we just can't handle it anymore. And well, after he finished his declaration of love, she responded by saying, "Are you serious?
Are you serious?
Are you serious?"
Are you serious?
Okay, so what does she mean?
She's just saying, really?
Exactly, it's another way of saying really.
Yep. So this is a phrase that's really, it's quite informal, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess you wouldn't use it in a business context.
No, and it's also something that's used mostly by younger people.
Right, if you say something that's amazing or that's incredible, hard to believe, you might get this response.
Are you serious?
Right. So he is very serious, but he confessed that he never had the guts to tell her.
Have the guts.
I never had the guts to tell you.
I never had the guts.
All right, so to have guts.
That's to be brave.
To be brave, courageous.
Yep.
So we have some examples of how we would use guts in different situations, so let's listen.
Example 1.
I don't have the guts to go skydiving.
Example 2. I don't have the guts to give a speech. Example 3.
I've never had the guts to say no to my boss.
All right, so to have the guts to do something. Hey, but Marco, this word guts, it's an interesting one.
Yes, it is, because guts can also mean your internal organs.
Like your stomach and your intestines and your lungs.
Exactly, those are your guts.
Yep. So when you have guts, you're really brave.
Exactly, you're courageous. All right, very good. Why don't we listen to the dialogue for the second time? We're going to slow it down a little bit, and we'll come back and look at some phrases and putting it together.
Hey, you're early. Where's everyone?
Well, I told them not to come. I made a reservation just for the two of us. I thought we could have a quiet evening all to ourselves.
Oh, why?
Jennifer, there's something I want to ask you.
Sure. What is it?
Okay. Here's the thing. I've always seen you as more than just a friend. And I can't take it anymore. I know you better than anyone. I know the pros and cons of your personality. I even know what side of the bed is yours. I think we would be great together, don't you?
Are you serious? We've been friends for years. We can't just change that overnight.
I know. I never had the guts to tell you until today. So, what do you say? Are you willing to give me a shot?
All right, so that's that's a little bit clearer this time. But while I was listening, I noticed that there's some more great phrases that you can use together with different words. So let's look at those now, putting it together.
Putting it together.
All right, let's take a look at the first one. He said, I made a reservation just for the two of us.
The two of us.
Just the two of us.
So just the two of us. Quite simply, it means you and me, just us, right?
Right, just us. So why is this phrase important?
I think it's a great way to show the idea of only us, right?
Right.
And we can use it together with any number we want.
So what about the four of us?
Mm-hmm. Just the four of us.
Okay.
Just the eight of us.
Okay.
So it suggests the idea of only us.
Okay.
You know?
So he made the reservation just for the two of us because he thought they could have a quiet evening all to ourselves.
All to ourselves.
All to ourselves.
All to ourselves.
If you have something all to yourself, or we have something all to ourselves.
We have that thing all alone. We don't have to share it.
We don't share. Very good. So I guess you can say my parents are out of town, so I have the apartment, or I have the house all to myself.
Mm-hmm. Or even she wants to eat the cake all to herself.
Very good. So that's a very good phrase.
And you can use it with any pronoun. Well, so the guy is explaining that I've always seen you as more than just a friend.
I've always seen you as.
I've always seen you as.
So basically is the perception or the way you consider that person.
The way you think about that person.
So I can say I've always seen you as a good friend.
I've always seen you as a leader. Okay, so our last phrase is also the last thing we heard in the dialogue. He said, are you willing to give me a shot?
Are you willing to give me a shot?
To give me a shot.
Give me a shot. All right, I think we have some more examples of how we could use give me a shot in different situations, so let's listen.
Example 1. I know I can do this drawing better. Just give me a shot.
So I can say, I've always seen you as a good friend. I've always seen...
Example 2.
The HR manager wasn't going to hire me, but he decided to give me a shot.
Okay, so when you give someone a shot, you take a chance, right?
Give that person or give an opportunity.
Mm-hmm. All right, so we don't know if she will give him a shot or not, but why don't we listen to the dialogue once more to hear these phrases in action?
Hey, you're early. Where's everyone?
Well, I told them not to come. I made a reservation just for the two of us. I thought we could have a quiet evening all to ourselves.
Oh, why?
Jennifer, there's something I want to ask you.
Sure. What is it?
Okay, here's the thing. I've always seen you as more than just a friend. I can't take it anymore. I know you better than anyone. I know the pros and cons of your personality. I even know what side of the bed is yours. I think we would be great together, don't you?
Are you serious? We've been friends for years. We can't just change that overnight.
I know. I never had the guts to tell you until today. So what do you say? Are you willing to give me a shot?
All right, so an interesting dialogue, and it opens up a cultural point.
That's right. So in the dialogue, the guy was asking her if she would be his girlfriend, right?
Right, but I guess it's not very common among adults, at least, in English-speaking countries.
Yeah, we don't say like, okay, so please will you be my boyfriend now, you know?
Right. You would do that maybe in high school.
Yeah, but even then, I think it's still a little funny. I think for us, when we start to have romantic relationships, it just sort of happens naturally, right? You never really have this conversation, will you be my boyfriend?
Right, I guess afterwards you just start talking about other things which you just consider that you guys are already boyfriend and girlfriend.
Yeah.
But there's no
official starting point.
Yeah, there's no official point that says, okay, now we are boyfriend.
Yep.
Which is interesting because in other countries they do go through the formality of
Yep.
asking somebody to become their boyfriend.
Yes. But even, like 20 or 30 years ago in English-speaking countries, you would do this.
Oh yeah, of course.
And it was called going steady.
Going steady.
So you would ask, will you go steady with me?
And that means let's become a stable couple.
Exactly.
All right, so we want to hear your stories and, well, how do you do it in your country? Do you ask someone out? Do you maybe just give them the first kiss and that's an automatic yes?
Well, I don't know, but I'm looking forward to hearing from our listeners. So guys, check out our website, englishpod.com. You can leave your questions and comments there.
All right, we'll see you guys there, and until next time.
Goodbye.
Bye. Hello everyone, welcome back to English Pod. My name is Marco.
And I'm Erica.
And today we are going back in time.
That's right, we're visiting the 1950s.
Alright, so we are going to the year 1950. And, well, we are going to look at some of the typical and common words and phrases that were used back in that year.
Yes, all of these words and phrases you might still hear today, but they are really a little bit old-fashioned.
Alright, so we have some words that we need to look at before we listen to our dialogue. So let's look at these words in vocabulary preview.
Vocabulary preview.
We have two words we're going to hear in the dialogue. The first one, sock hop.
Sock hop.
A sock hop.
Okay, now this is very old-fashioned and probably not used anymore.
No, not used anymore. But a sock hop is a school dance.
Okay, so all the kids after school would get together and dance rock and roll
Exactly.
in a gym or something.
Mm-hmm.
And, well, it's very popular and very common among American culture in those days.
Yes, in 1950.
So you would still maybe see this in a movie or something
Yep.
like that.
Yep.
And our second word is still used today. Sadie Hawkins dance.
A Sadie Hawkins dance.
All right, a Sadie Hawkins dance.
So a Sadie Hawkins dance is a dance when the girls ask the guys to be their date.
Okay, so it's a party, and the guys don't invite the girls.
No, the girls invite the guys.
Okay, so it's a little bit of a reverse of roles there.
Yes.
That's interesting. So in this case, the girls have to come up to the guys and say, hey, do you want to go to the dance with me?
Mm-hmm.
Very good. So this still happens today in North America, so you will probably hear it sometime. And I guess now we could listen to our dialogue for the first time, and it takes place at a high school.
Hey, Tracy, how are you doing?
Swell, Sandy.
Hey, listen, you want to go to the sock hop with me this Friday? It'll be a blast.
First of all, it's the Sadie Hawkins dance. The girls gotta ask the guys. Also,
Oh, right. So, when are you going to ask me? I've had my eye on you for a while.
Hey, buddy, ease off my girl, man. Or do you want a knuckle sandwich?
cool it, guys.
Your girl? Says who?
Says me, Pipsqueak.
All right, so a little bit of a discussion over a girl, very common as well.
Yes. Yep.
So we're going to be looking at some of these words that were maybe a little bit difficult in the dialogue in language takeaway.
Language takeaway.
Well, we've got 5 phrases and words from the dialogue. Now, the first thing we heard was Sandy said, "Heya,
Heya.
heya."
All right, now an interjection, a way of saying hi, but very old-fashioned. Heya.
Yep. Basically, hi, you.
Or hey, you.
Yep.
Okay, so heya. I guess you would still use it today, though, right?
Yeah, it's still a normal way to greet someone.
All right, very friendly. Okay, and what about our second word?
Well, Sandy asks Tracy, "How are you?" And Tracy replies, "I'm swell."
I'm swell.
Swell.
I'm just swell.
When you are swell, you are great.
You're great. And again, swell is an old-fashioned way of saying I'm good or I'm
Yeah.
great, but you would still hear it.
Yes. And it also is used to describe things. That was a swell party.
Okay, swell.
Yep.
All right, now for our next word. They got into a fight, and Tracy said, "Cool it, guys.
Cool it.
Cool it."
Cool it.
So why don't we listen to some examples of cool it before we explain it?
Example 1. Just cool it. Now is not the right time to get angry. Example 2. You need to cool it and stop yelling at me. Example 3. Don't cry, Pam. Just cool it. You will be okay.
All right, so cool it, guys. Basically, it means
Relax.
take it easy.
Yeah.
Don't get into a fight.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
This is one my dad used to say to me and my sisters all the time. Cool it, kids. Stop fighting.
Very good. So it is still very commonly used, I would say.
Yep.
All right, now for our last two words. These are a little bit more old-fashioned.
Yes, straight from 1952. They talk about a knuckle sandwich.
All right, he says, do you want a knuckle sandwich?
A knuckle sandwich. What are we talking about here?
All right, well, on your hand,
Yeah.
you have, above your fingers, you have your knuckles.
Okay, so those are the bumpy parts on my hand.
The bones on the top part of your hand. So he's basically saying, do you want me to punch you? Right? Do you want me to hit you with my hand, with my fist? So it's a very informal way of saying a punch, knuckle sandwich.
I'll give you a knuckle sandwich.
Right. And for our last word, Tommy called Sandy a pipsqueak.
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 A pipsqueak.
Now this is kind of an insult, but again, very old-fashioned.
Yes.
A pipsqueak is a very small person, right?
A small person who is not strong.
Okay.
Or not powerful.
So a small and weak person. Pipsqueak. I guess nowadays you can still call somebody pipsqueak, but maybe in a lighter sense.
It would be a little bit funny to call someone a pipsqueak.
Okay, so a pipsqueak. Why don't we listen to our dialogue again? We're gonna slow it down a little bit so you can get all these words that we just looked at, and then we'll come back and look at some phrases.
Hey, Tracy. How are you doing?
I'm swell, Sandy.
Hey, listen. You want to go to the sock hop with me this Friday? It'll be a blast.
First of all, it's the Sadie Hawkins dance. The girls gotta ask the guys. Also...
Oh, right. So, when are you gonna ask me? I've had my eye on you for a
Thằng em nó
while.
mới lấy xe đi rồi.
Hey, buddy. Ease off my girl,
Thằng em
man.
nó mới lấy xe đi rồi.
Or do you want a knuckle sandwich?
Cool it, guys.
Your girl? Says who?
Says me, pipsqueak.
Okay, so that was a little bit easier to understand, but some great 50s style phrases and words. So why don't we look at some of these phrases now in Fluency Builder.
Fluency Builder.
All right, on Fluency Builder today, we're going to look at 3 phrases. Why don't we start with the first one? Sandy said that the party will be a blast.
It'll be a blast.
It'll be a blast.
To be a blast.
So if something is a blast, it's very fun. It's entertaining.
Yes, really, really fun.
Okay, so the party was a blast.
I had a great time last night. It was a blast.
Okay, very good. So very fun times.
Yep. And you'll still hear this phrase used today. Now the next one. So Sandy said he had his eye on Tracy.
He said, I've had my eye on you.
To have your eye on someone.
So if I have my eye on the new iPhone that came out.
You are watching it carefully because you want it.
Okay, so I'm keeping my attention on it because I want it.
I have my eye on that sweater because it's on sale.
Okay, so you really want that sweater.
Yep.
All right. So to have your eye on something or on someone, right? And for our last phrase, Tommy told Sandy, hey buddy, ease off my girl.
Ease off.
Ease off.
Ease off.
All right, so why don't we listen to some examples of how we could use ease off, because it might be a little bit tricky, and then we'll come back and talk about it.
Example 1.
You need to ease off the junk food.
Example 2. Matt is putting so much pressure on me these days. I wish he would ease off. Example 3.
You're pushing Susie too much. You need to ease off a bit.
Okay, so it looks like you say this phrase, ease off, when somebody is putting pressure on you or doing something to you that they shouldn't.
Right, maybe they're being too intense or
Yep.
maybe annoying you. So you tell them, hey, ease off.
Yeah, relax, stay back.
Stay away, very
Yeah.
good. So ease off my girlfriend.
Ease off the fatty foods.
All right, so take it easy, stay away from.
Yep.
Okay, so some great phrases there. I think it's a good idea for us to listen to our dialogue one more time, and then we'll come back and talk a little bit more about the 1950s.
Hey, Tracy, how are you doing?
I'm swell, Sandy.
Hey, listen, you want to go to the sock hop with me this Friday? It'll be a blast.
First of all, it's the Sadie Hawkins dance. The girls gotta ask the guys. Also...
Oh, right. So, when are you going to ask me? I've had my eye on you for a while.
Hey, buddy, ease off my girl, man. Or do you want a knuckle sandwich?
Cool it, guys.
Your girl? Says who?
Says me, Pipsqueak.
Okay, so the 1950s, a nice era, and this is the first of a small series that we're going to have of different words and phrases that were used back in the 1950s, 1960s, 1970s, etc.
That's right. So a little bit more time travel is coming up here in English Pod.
Exactly, because a lot of these phrases are still used, and you might even see them in movies, or if you're talking to somebody that was maybe born in these eras, they might even still use them today.
That's right. So, do you guys know any English phrases or slangs from the 1950s? Why don't you visit our website at englishpod.com to tell us about it?
All right, we'll see you guys there, and also if you have questions or comments, please leave them on the comments section as well.
Well, thanks for listening, and until next time, goodbye.
Hello, English learners, and welcome to English Pod. My name is Marco.
I'm Amira.
Amira and I are here today with an interesting lesson about a hotel situation. Amira, why don't you give us a little bit more information?
Well, the situation is taking place in a hotel, and someone is checking in and is obtaining an upgrade.
An upgrade. Okay, that's an interesting word. Why don't we listen to the dialogue and then we'll come back and explain all this vocabulary.
Good afternoon. What can I do for you?
I'd like to check in, please. I have a reservation under the name Anthony Roberts.
All right. Roberts. Oh, Mr. Roberts, we've been expecting you. And here is your key card to the presidential suite.
But there must be some mistake. My reservation was for a standard room.
Are you sure? Let me double check.
Yeah, here, this is my confirmation number.
You're right, Mr. Roberts. There seems to be a mix-up. Unfortunately, we're overbooked at the moment.
So...
Not to worry. We're pleased to offer you a complimentary upgrade.
Woohoo! Presidential suite, baby!
Okay, everyone. That is nice, huh?
Yeah, the guy is really excited that he's gonna get the presidential suite.
Yes, there's some interesting phrases and vocabulary items here, and I know, Marco, you want to talk about some of them.
Right, the first one, and this is really useful for all of our listeners who travel a lot, this phrase will come in handy, and it is, I have a reservation under the name.
Under the name.
Under the name.
Under the name.
So before we explain this phrase, let's listen to some examples on how it is used in other situations, and then we'll come back and give you more information.
My secretary made a reservation under my name.
I'm sorry, sir. I don't have a reservation under that name.
Do you have a reservation under the name Smith?
All right, some really good examples there on how we could use this phrase in other situations. But just in case, let me explain it real fast. Under the name means that when you go to the restaurant or a hotel and you tell them your name, they know that you are the person that they have been expecting. They have been waiting.
Yes. Well, I have chosen another useful phrase for you, and it is mix up.
Mix up.
Mix up.
Mix up.
There seems to be a mix-up. Before we talk about this phrase, let's listen to some examples of how it is used.
There was a mix-up at the airport and my bags were sent to Antarctica.
I'm sorry, sir. There's been a terrible mix-up. We've given you the wrong baby.
Okay, that was useful and funny.
Yeah, that's the baby situation.
Oh my god, imagine that happening.
Yeah, I know.
Well, guys, so a mix-up is a confusion or a misunderstanding.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Well put.
All right, Marco, what do you have for us?
Okay, the next word that we should take a look at is overbooked.
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 Overbooked. What does that mean?
So if a hotel or a flight is overbooked, it means that they are full. They are more than full.
Right, so they cannot accept any more people.
Exactly.
Okay, now why is this phrase useful?
Because it happens all the time.
There's so many other situations where you can use this word or hear it from other native English speakers. For example, a bus or a train can be overbooked.
Exactly, that's really common. Okay, let's take a look at the last phrase for today, and that is complimentary upgrade.
Complimentary upgrade.
Complimentary upgrade.
Complimentary upgrade.
So this means that, for example, when the hotel is overbooked and all of their standard rooms are full, they will give you a better room, a more expensive room, but free.
Yes, because it was not your fault.
Right. This also happens sometimes, if you're lucky, on airplane flights.
Yes.
So if you are in economy class and an airplane, but for some reason it's overbooked, they will move you to business class or first class for free.
I have a similar story, but I'm not going to tell you about it now. For now, let's go and listen to the dialogue one more time, and when we come back, we'll talk some more.
Good afternoon. What can I do for you?
I'd like to check in, please. I have a reservation under the name Anthony Roberts.
All right. Roberts. Oh, Mr. Roberts, we've been expecting you. And here is your key card to the presidential suite.
But there must be some mistake. My reservation was for a standard room.
Are you sure? Let me double check.
Yeah, here, this is my confirmation number.
You're right, Mr. Roberts. There seems to be a mix-up. Unfortunately, we're overbooked at the moment.
So...
Not to worry. We're pleased to offer you a complimentary upgrade.
Woohoo! Presidential suite, baby!
I love listening to this dialogue. It's just so nice to see that someone is enjoying his upgrade so much, huh?
Yeah, especially since he was expecting just a really normal room and now he's gonna be treated like a king.
So Marco, have you ever gotten a complimentary upgrade?
Yes, I did. When I was traveling through India, I bought a normal seat in the train, but for some reason, it was overbooked. So I talked to the station manager and I got a complimentary upgrade to first class.
I had a similar experience as well. I was flying from Shanghai to Qatar, and I actually had an economy seat, but for some reason they just upgraded me, and I was so happy.
Oh, really? Like,
Yes.
it wasn't overbooked?
Well, I'm not sure because normally the night flight is not that full, but they upgraded me for some reason, and I was so happy. It was an upgrade to first class.
Wow, that's really cool. I
Yes.
would prefer a first class upgrade on an airplane. Yeah, any day.
Well, you know what really amazed me was like the food you get there. You know, you have a 5-course meal.
Oh, really?
Yes.
And you get all the drinks you can get, right?
Exactly.
Wow, I would be really happy there. All right, everyone, we're out of time today, but be sure to listen tomorrow because we'll be back again with another great podcast. And also, don't forget to go to our website at englishpod.com and leave us all your questions and comments in our community forum.
Yes, and we would also appreciate your suggestions. And I hope you enjoyed the lesson today, and Marco and I will be back tomorrow with another great lesson for you. But for now, it's bye.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to English Pod. My name is Marco.
I'm Amira.
Hey, Amira, how are you today?
I'm doing great. What about you?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm excited about this lesson that you have for us today.
Yes, it's actually a very, very useful lesson. It's about someone asking his boss for an assistant.
Oh, okay, an assistant. What's an
Yes.
assistant?
Well, it's someone who helps you with your work around the office.
Okay, great. So let's listen to this dialogue, and when we come back, we'll take a look at all the interesting and useful vocabulary that you'll find.
Like I told you before, we just don't have the resources to hire you an assistant.
I understand that, but the fact is, we're understaffed.
The timing is just not right. The economy's bad, and it's too risky to take on new staff.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Here's an idea. What if we hire an intern? She would take some of the weight off my shoulders.
She?
Yeah, you know, a recent graduate. She could give me a hand with some of these projects, and we could keep our costs down.
That sounds reasonable. Let me see what I can do. Tony, I'd like to introduce you to your new assistant.
Okay, great. Let's meet her.
Hi, I'm Adam.
Oh, hi, I'm Tony.
And we're back. Tony, he's surprised, huh?
Yeah, he's, I don't know why though he's surprised. I think we should talk about that a little bit later.
Yes, for now, let's look at some interesting vocabulary and phrases here. Marco, I know you've chosen one for us.
Yeah, the first one that I want to take a look at is resources.
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 And that means, in this text, basically money.
Right.
So the office doesn't have enough money.
Okay. I've chosen another interesting word for you, and that's understaffed.
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 Now, understaffed means that they don't have enough people working there.
They don't have enough workers.
Right, they don't have enough employees.
Perfect. Okay. The next one is timing is just not right.
The timing is just not right.
The timing is just not right.
The timing is just not right.
Okay, let's listen to how we can use this entire phrase in a different situation so then we can understand what it means. Let's listen.
I was gonna sell my house, but the timing is just not right. Honey, I think we should have a baby.
The timing is just not right.
Okay, great. I guess that makes it clear.
Yes, actually, it's very obvious that it means that it's just not a good time.
Right. Perfect.
Yeah. I have another interesting phrase for you, which is weight off my shoulders.
Weight off my shoulders.
Weight off my shoulders.
Weight off my shoulders.
So, to take weight off my shoulders is another way of saying to help me with my work or to take some of my work away from me.
If you have a lot of things to do and I come and help you, that means that I took some of the weight off your shoulders.
Yes.
Let's look at the next phrase that we have here, and it's give me a hand.
Give me a hand.
Give me a hand.
Give me a hand.
Okay, now this is not literal. It's not that I'm gonna give you somebody's hand, right? Let's listen to some examples and then we can come back and explain what it means.
Can you give me a hand with these boxes?
Neil, I'll need you to give me a hand with the sales reports.
Here, let me give you a hand with your suitcase.
All right. Give me a hand is another way of saying help or to help out.
Exactly, to help out.
Right.
Perfect.
Now, the last phrase we're going to look at here in this dialogue is keep our costs down.
Keep our costs down.
Keep our costs down.
Keep our costs down.
So to keep our costs down means to try and not spend so much money.
Exactly. Many companies, for example, now control how much printing you do.
Yes.
Right? To
yes.
keep the cost down of paper.
Yeah, so in other words, they do not want to have unnecessary spending.
Perfect. Okay, I think it's time for us to listen to this dialogue one more time. But I want everyone to listen and see why Tony is surprised at the end when he meets his intern, when he meets his assistant.
Like I told you before, we just don't have the resources to hire you an assistant.
I understand that, but the fact is, we're understaffed.
The timing is just not right. The economy's bad, and it's too risky to take on new staff.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Here's an idea. What if we hire an intern? She would take some of the weight off my shoulders.
She?
Yeah, you know, a recent graduate. She could give me a hand with some of these projects, and we could keep our costs down.
That sounds reasonable. Let me see what I can do. Tony, I'd like to introduce you to your new assistant.
Okay, great. Let's meet her.
Hi, I'm Adam.
Oh, hi, I'm Tony.
Well, you know, Marco, I think that Tony was really surprised because he was kind of hoping to have a female intern.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what he was expecting. Maybe this guy is a little bit sexist. He thought that an intern should be a girl, but instead he
got Adam.
Exactly, and it looks like Adam is really big and really tall because he's got that deep voice.
Right. An intern, Marco, do you want to elaborate on that?
Working at a company with a very low salary or sometimes no salary at all, but what you're gaining is experience and you're learning a lot of things. Everyone who has been an intern or had an intern knows that sometimes they are not treated all that well. Sometimes they just serve coffee or they have to do paperwork.
Or like photocopying things.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But some internships are really, really cool, and some are really good experiences for learning.
Yes, definitely. Actually, I know a friend of mine. She used to work as an intern in one of those really big companies, and she told me that she has gained so much experience doing that.
Yeah, I mean, even if you don't get paid, the experience that you get is really good. And that just opens doors for maybe getting another job. Or sometimes the interns get hired by the company to stay because they do such a good job.
Yeah, I think that's mostly the case, huh?
Yeah, that happened to me once. I started working as an intern, and after 3 months, I was hired by the company. So it does happen.
So you did a good job.
Yeah, of course. All right, folks, we're out of time today. I hope that you enjoyed our lesson, and we'll be back tomorrow with another really cool and really interesting lesson from EnglishPod. Don't forget to come to our website at englishpod.com, where you'll find some really great and interesting resources to help you learn and improve your English even more.
Yes, you should definitely do that. And Marco and I would love to receive your comments and suggestions that you can leave on our community forum. But for now, it's time for us to say bye.
Hello, English learners, and welcome to EnglishPod. My name is Marco.
I'm Amira.
All right, Amira is here today, and she is going to tell us about the wonderful lesson she has prepared this time.
Well, thank you, Marco. Well, today we have a very interesting lesson prepared for you. It's about someone cutting in line.
Cutting in line, okay.
Yeah, it happens all the time, and we all get very upset about it, but, you know, it happens.
Right. Well, I imagine that everyone is wondering what cutting in line is. Why don't we just listen to the dialogue one time, and then when we come back, Amira and I will gladly explain all the vocabulary in this dialogue.
Let's listen.
I can't believe it took us 2 hours to get here. The traffic in New York is unbelievable.
Yeah, but just relax, honey. We're here and we're going on vacation. In a few hours, we'll be in Hawaii and you'll be on the golf course.
No, look at that line. It must be a mile long. There's no way I'm waiting for another 2 hours.
Honey, don't.
Hey, man, the end of the line is over there.
Yeah.
No, seriously, I was here first, and you can't cut in line like this.
Says who?
I do.
So sue me.
All right, that's it.
Whoa, I think there's punching.
Yeah, I guess this guy he's just a crazy, impatient man, huh?
Yes, but we don't want to talk about this now. But for now, we will treat some of the vocabulary and very useful phrases in the dialogue.
Great.
So, Marco, do you want to start?
Yes, let's take a look at our first word would be unbelievable.
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 Exactly, and just how you say it, it's something incredible, something amazing.
Yeah, but I would like to point out that unbelievable was used here to describe the man's frustration. He's not happy about the traffic in New York.
Exactly, perfect. Okay, in the next part, the woman, she's trying to calm and relax her husband, and she says that they'll be in Hawaii in a few hours, and you'll be on the golf course.
Right, so we'll be in Hawaii and you'll be on the golf course.
Yes, we'll be in Hawaii and you'll be on the golf course.
So this is a great way of talking about your physical location in the future.
Right, so for example, Amira, tomorrow where will you be?
Don't worry, Marco. I'll be in the office tomorrow.
Perfect, right? That's where I need you to be.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Well, I have another interesting phrase here for you. Must be a mile long.
A mile long.
A mile long.
A mile long.
Now, that's basically not a mile. It's not a kilometer long, but it's another way of saying that this line is really, really long.
Right, it's just an exaggeration. Now let's take a look at there's no way.
There's no way.
There's no way.
There's no way.
Perfect. Let's listen to some other examples on how we use there's no way in a different situation, and then we can come back and talk about it a little bit more.
There's no way I can have those reports finished today.
The stadium is so crowded that there's no way we'll find a seat.
Do you think Michael's gonna buy that house?
There's no way he has enough money to buy it.
All right, everyone. So there's no way is another way of saying it is impossible.
Exactly. There's no way you should miss this podcast, right?
Yes. Well, I have another phrase for you as well. Cut in line.
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 So again, we have some really good examples on how you could use this phrase in different situations. Let's listen to the examples and then we can come back and talk about it some more.
Excuse me, I'm really late. Can we cut in line, please?
I hate it when people cut in line at the bank. It's so rude.
I think it's okay when a pregnant woman cuts in line.
All right, everyone, cut in line.
Right, so from the examples, we can understand that it means when you are standing in line somewhere and somebody gets in front of you.
Right. I have another phrase for you here. Sue me.
Sue me.
Sue me.
Sue me.
Okay, now sue me is not a nice phrase. If you hear that, you know you're in trouble.
Yeah, it's kind of rude, I guess, to say sue me.
Right. Well, it actually means like taking someone to court and asking for money because someone has harmed you in a way. I think that we should listen to the dialogue one more time and try to figure out why he used that phrase and if he's really going to take him to court.
I can't believe it took us 2 hours to get here. The traffic in New York is unbelievable.
Yeah, but just relax, honey. We're here and we're going on vacation. In a few hours, we'll be in Hawaii and he'll be on the golf course.
No, look at that line. It must be a mile long. There's no way I'm waiting for another 2 hours.
Honey, don't.
Hey, man, the end of the line is over there.
Yeah.
No, seriously, I was here first and you can't cut in line like this.
Says who?
I do.
So sue me.
All right, that's it.
All right, we're back. Now, this guy, when he says sue me, he's just being rude. I mean, he's just being kind of
impolite
and telling him, I don't care.
Right, exactly.
Like you can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
Okay, today in the studio, we have a guest. Her name is Sarah, and she's from England.
Hi there.
Hello.
All right. So we're going to be asking her a couple of questions, and she'll be a frequent guest on our show, so you can expect to hear from her a lot.
Well, she didn't know that.
it's a surprise.
She knows now.
Well, Sarah, our topic today is about jumping the queue.
Okay, Amira, wait. What is this jump the queue?
It's the same as cut in line, but in British English.
Ah, okay.
Yes, queuing. It's very important in England. We're very proud of our queues. It's true.
So what would be the reaction of people if they cut in line?
I think we do take it very seriously. I'm laughing now, but it's quite serious. So you don't dump the queue. If people, jump in front of you, it's you get a lot of tuts and stuff. Shouldn't be doing that. And we make it very obvious. And in the
So you say it out loud?
We would, perhaps say something. And we have systems, in London on the metro. On the underground, you have to stand on the escalators on the right and queue, and you can't jump in front. You have to walk on the left and queue on the right. And it's all very serious. There's rules and regulations.
Is there like a queue handbook that you have to read in high school and kind of take a test on?
Perhaps there should be. Yeah.
Wow.
What about New York, Marco?
Well, no, definitely. I guess this dialogue is similar to a reality of New York. If somebody gets in front of you or cuts the line, somebody's gonna say something and probably end up in a fight if the guy is rude. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Well, Sarah, why don't you tell us, is there a line or a queue for almost everything in England?
It seems like we do just like to form a queue. Yeah. So,
Can you think of like some other examples of where you would normally you wouldn't queue, but you do?
Oh gosh. Things like in the supermarket when you're trying to find some vegetables or something, I'd never sort of reach round or anything. I'd sort of wait until that person had finished picking up their stuff and then go in. So just try and...
So if like 5 people want to buy oranges at the supermarket, then you have a little mini queue of 5 people
maybe a little bit. Just,
waiting.
There's no sort of just shoving through it to the front. You just don't do that.
So you don't stick your hand out and grab like a tomato.
Well, if you do, again, you would make sure that person knows. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm just in a hurry or whatever. But yeah, it's just letting someone go before you. It's a courtesy, I think.
Okay.
It's quite important to us.
All right.
Right.
Great
well,
stuff.
Thank you so much, Sarah.
It's a pleasure.
Yeah, we'll have you back very soon. So, all right, we're out of time, but we'll be back tomorrow with another lesson. And be sure to visit our website. Don't forget that EnglishPod.com has many, many resources and also a community of users and teachers that can help you answer questions and interact with you.
Yes, and you should definitely leave your suggestions. But for now, I wish you all well and bye.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to English Pod. My name is Marco.
And I'm Erica.
How are you, Erica?
Marco, I'm doing really well. How about you?
I'm doing great. I'm really excited because today we're talking about travel.
That's right. We're going to give you some real English to talk about travel.
Exactly. English that you would use in everyday life, that you hear in movies and TV shows.
English people actually use.
Exactly. So why don't you tell us a little bit about this lesson for today?
Okay, so today we are going to listen as a husband and wife get ready to go on a trip.
All right, that sounds a little bit complicated.
Well, let's look at our 2 preview words.
Vocabulary preview.
Okay, so the first word that we have is road trip.
Road trip.
Road trip.
Road trip.
Okay, so road trips are really fun and interesting, right?
Road trips are great. You get to get in a car with your family and drive on a vacation.
Yeah, those are really fun, and they're really popular in North America.
Really popular. I've been on a million road trips.
All right, we'll talk about that a little bit later on. But now, let's take a look at our second word, and it's the car's packed.
The car's packed.
The car's packed.
The car is packed.
So when your car is packed, it means that
everything you need is inside the car.
All right, so your bags, your food, everything that you need for your trip.
Exactly.
Perfect. Okay, so those were our 2 preview words, and now we are ready to listen to the dialogue for the first time.
Okay, this dialogue will be at normal speed. It will be fast, but don't worry if you don't understand everything.
After 10 minutes, we promise you will understand everything in this lesson.
So, are we all ready to go?
Yep, I think so. The car's packed, we have munchies and music, and the map's in the car.
Did you get the camera?
Got it. Did you fill up the tank?
Yep, it's all set.
You're sure we're not forgetting anything?
I'm sure. We've got all our bases covered.
Well, let's get going then. I love road trips. Do you think we can make a pit stop?
But we've only been on the road for 10 minutes.
I know, but I forgot to go to the bathroom before we left.
Well, she forgot to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, I hate it when this happens.
This happens to me on almost every road trip.
Okay, great. So now it's time for our language takeaway. We have 3 words for our language takeaway today.
Language takeaway.
And the first word is munchies.
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 So munchies are
Snacks.
snacks, food,
Food, chips,
chips, cookies,
chocolate bars.
all that good stuff.
I love munchies.
And they're really good when you're taking a road trip.
Indeed.
Okay, so let's take a look at our second language takeaway word for today, and it is fill up the tank.
Fill up the tank.
Fill up the tank.
Fill up the tank. So this is to
Put gas in your car.
put gas in the gas tank.
In the gas tank, exactly.
All right, our last language takeaway today is
Pit stop.
pit stop.
Pit stop.
Make a pit stop.
It's a quick stop for you to get some gas, food, go to the bathroom.
Yeah, a pit stop, a quick stop.
Great, so now it's time for putting it together.
Putting it together.
Okay, so we have 2 great phrases for you today.
Xét nghiệp á.